What's up? This is Adam 2 for 1. Today I'm gonna talk about how blackface isn't racist. Alright. During like the 20s and 30s, they had this thing called the minstrel show. Now, during this minstrel show, whites would, they would paint their faces black, with black paint. And they would sing, they would dance, they would play jazz, they would do comedy, they would do this thing called jive talk, where they would, speak in like black slang. The women would come out and dance in like hula skirts, kind of like banana, like like they was in Africa or something. And they would do, just like a show. And rich whites would come to see the show. They would pay money to come. Now, if you know anything about white culture during that time, it was really boring and not that good. It was stale. But black culture was exciting and it was unique. And a lot of times they would have like little kids that would come out and they would have like nappy hair with the braids and everything. And they'll have these dresses, and that isn't racist. That's actually what blacks look like in the South. Sometimes they will portray blacks in the South and what they look like. So anybody with nappy hair, that's what blacks have, nappy hair. That's not racist. Now, the reason why I say blackface isn't racist is the only way for you to say blackface is racist is that you would have to say that having a black face is bad. That's the only way you can say it's racist. Because all they're doing is they take a person, they put blackface on them, they say that's offensive if you have a black face. Only way you can call it offensive or bad is that having a black face is bad. So it's not racist. And the reason why whites were so like obsessed with our culture is that it was better. It was more exciting. It was more unique. You had dancing. You had Africa. You had the nappy hair. That's exciting. That's different. That's unique. We had dark skin. We almost like aliens almost. We were so unique. We had jazz. We had banjo playing. Like, a lot of people know country music came out of slavery. Blacks are the ones who invented country music. We were the first ones to do it. A lot of gospel singing, a lot of slave songs, singing around the fire, saying poems and stuff. And jive talking was like a whole different language. It was almost like that's how creative the African slaves were. That they could come up, first they had to learn English, and then they came up with, slang. They came up with their own code words. Some of our English we learned from actually poor whites. But we came up with our own stuff, like, like the Creole. We came up with Creole. And that's like a mix, because some Africans, they spoke French. So we had, later on we started to, so we can communicate with the whites, we had to learn English. So we was coming up with our own languages. We was coming up with our own fashion. And the thing, we say having a nappy head is offensive, but the only way you can say that is that you think that having a nappy head is bad. So because now we're scared to have a nappy head. Having a nappy head is negative, but it used to be positive. It was great. But we made it bad. We made it offensive. And most of in the minstrel show, they would play roles like butler, maid, jazz singer, stuff like that. But that is the jobs that we had. So it wasn't exactly offensive because it was true. We did have those jobs. We did have maid, butler, nanny, stuff like that. So it wasn't exactly racist. Because stereotypes are always based on reality. And if you ever been to Cuba, you would notice that the white Cubans embrace the dark Cubans' African culture because it's better. Because you got the fashion, the language, the food, the music, all of that. And it's a whole lot better. That's why they have no problem embracing it. The white Cubans don't really have a culture. I mean, we don't need, a lot of people, I don't even think white Cubans, they might actually not even be Cubans. It might be somebody else. That's probably why they don't have no culture. And if they did, it ain't that great. So, so for a long time, whites didn't really have a culture. That's why most of the stuff, they were just taking everybody else's culture. They didn't have anything. But now they have a culture, you know, and it mostly comes out of the oppressed groups. They came up with punk and heavy metal. Well, I would say they kind of stole rock and blues, but they made it unique. They, you know, later on, they came up with their own stuff. They came up with hair band, punk, skater music, rock and roll, country. They came up with their own branches of stuff. Alternative music, indie music, hippies. They came up with a lot of stuff. So at first, you know, think about it, only way your culture could be made fun of is that it would have to be unique. And you can't really, during that time, you couldn't really make fun of white culture because it was too boring. You know, say 20s and 30s. It was too boring to make fun of white culture. There was nothing there. There was no substance, no soul. But blacks, Hispanics, Mexicans, and Cubans, and Africans, and Asians, they had all the exciting, unique cultures. Indian, whatever. That's because you can only make fun of it if it was unique. You could only be creative with it unless it was unique. So anyway, only way blackface can be racist is that you have to proclaim that having a blackface is bad. Only way it can be offensive, you have to proclaim that having a blackface is bad. Only way you can say that nappy head is bad and racist is you have to proclaim that having a nappy head is bad. Only way you can proclaim that dark face, having a person with a dark face, is racist is you have to proclaim that blackface is bad. So you yourself have to say that blackface is bad, that having a dark face is bad, and having nappy head is bad. That's the only way it can be offensive to you. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think blackface is bad. I think it's good. It just showed you how unique our culture is, and the fact that they want to portray us in this way. Either it may be fear, it may be anything. We don't know. So it might have been jealousy. Who knows? They were jealous and fearful that our culture was more unique than theirs. Now they ain't worried about it no more because they've come up with their own culture. And that's great. You know, we pushed them. It's like we pushed them to come up with their own culture. They come up and have variety in their own culture. They ain't have to portray our culture no more. They can come up with their own culture. And they ain't got to make fun of us no more. So, blackface and minstrel show and all that stuff, it just shows you how unique our culture was. We had enough, to say, material to be made fun of. That's how unique we were. It was so much stuff to portray and make fun of. That's how unique and awesome the culture was. How much stuff, how much content we had to make fun of. So yeah, it just shows. So yeah, I always like to, you know, have like a positive spin on things instead of just saying, man, you're a racist. I ain't worried about that. It ain't racist to me. It just shows you how unique we are, how unique people can be, how creative people can be. So anyway, remember to like and subscribe and comment. That'd be great. Because I don't know who's watching this stuff. Anyway, yeah, everything gonna be all right. All right, peace out.